that you want to learn about data vault from scratch. You don't know much. Maybe you are an analyst, data engineer, whatever, but you don't know much about data vaults. Would you go? Like the book feels like a big step, like maybe too much for people, so it's a
Hmm.
barrier. For sure, if then you start to work with data vault, you will need to have the book on your side, right? Like the big book. But this is kind of an entry point, like an introduction to data. Well, that was the idea. And so people probably need to have some idea of data engineering, analytics, like data warehousing in general, data platforms. But we built on top of that some of the entry points of data vault. So the idea is like, okay, what are the core concepts that data vaults represents, right? So because you can be talking about data vault in many, many ways for a very long time, like 600 plus pages, as you know. So like, how can we like prune it into like the main core components, just to make it more accessible for people? Basically, was that was the idea.
So, what's the starting point then for how you pick what to prune?
Yeah, that's a good question. Basically, you start with a 600-page book
Mm.
and say, okay, do we need everything from here? Is everything it's quite like you can take this old book and it's still like quite relevant right now, right? Is maybe there are things that they could be updated, but it's quite up to date. And basically the idea was like I was basically also putting myself in the shoes of someone who wants to start to learn data vault, and what is the piece of content I would like to have in my hands at the moment, which I didn't. So um, we started thinking, okay, there are some things that you need to know if you start to work with data vault. Let's say has links and satellites. You need to know that.
Hmm.
You need to have an idea of the three-layer architecture. Um, then so I think the idea for me was quite clear, like how was going to be the structure. It was like, okay, let's have some introduction on why data vault, why we use it, what are like the pains that they address.